Have you ever struggled with how to get the buyer's rep agreement signed? Or maybe you've been in a buyer's appointment and just froze up because you didn't know the next thing to say, or you could be feeling like you're one step away from securing that next buyer, and then they hit you with, we just want to think about it. My name is Chason J Miles, and I'm here to turn those uncertainties into your next big clients. Before we dive into the sauce, have you ever left a buyer's appointment wondering what went wrong? Well, it was probably one thing that you didn't even know that happened, and we'll talk about that in a second. I want you to know that this video is not just another tutorial. This is exactly what you need for overcoming those 3 biggest hurdles that most agents face when they start working with buyers: how to pinpoint and ask the right questions, getting the buyer's rep agreement signed, and how to actually make sure that they get pre-approved and not just ghost you. Do this with me. Imagine that you're sitting across from a couple and they're just talking. They're smiling. There's no awkward moments. They're actually happy to be there with you. As they open up to you, you're not just another agent at that point. You're becoming their friend. They trust you, and they feel like they finally found someone that they can truly work with. Here's the secret to make that happen. We ask specific questions as a way of starting the meeting. So it's the first thing that we do. I call these the why before the buy question. So instead of just jumping into the presentation, you're gonna start with the whys. Why buy now? Why this change? Why in this market? Just why? And if you've done a buyer's consultation before, you probably noticed that things start to get weird when you're talking about the financing. But what if I told you even for that, there is a way to make that process seamless? Just keep watching. Earlier in this video, I mentioned that there was probably one thing that you're doing in your appointments and you don't even notice, but it's ruining you getting that buyer. And it's this: not actively listening to your clients. When you're in these consultations, it's easy to feel the need to just move to the next page or go to the next point. You want to explain everything. But when you do this, you're not actively engaging with them with their current, in that moment, concerns, questions, or even objections that they have. So make it a practice to stop giving more information until you are absolutely sure that they are good with the information that you've already given them. And the way to do this is by simply asking questions like, does that make sense? Do you understand? Do you have any questions about that? Let them address their concerns at that time. And what this is going to do for you, it's going to overcome objections that are probably going to be brought up in the end had you not asked those questions. And speaking of objections, one big one is signing the buyer's rep agreement. Most agents struggle with this step. As a matter of fact, some don't even bring it up because they're scared that it's going to scare off the clients. But I'm here to tell you, with the right approach, you can actually make this moment comfortable and welcomed by the buyers. First, let's address the elephant in the room. Why is this agreement so important? It's not about just binding your clients to a contract. It's about establishing that mutual respect and commitment, which in turn creates that professional environment. So let's break down my buyer's rep strategy into 3 different parts: educate, personalize, and reassure. Your clients may simply not even understand the importance or the value in them signing that document. So you have to first educate. Explain how this agreement protects what they're trying to do, ensures that you are dedicated to them as their agent, and clarifies that agent-client relationship. Remember, transparency is key. Number 2, personalize. Make it personal. You're going to want to share stories. I share stories all the time. Share stories about how you've helped clients in bad markets. Share stories that highlight the value that you bring to the table. Relate this agreement to their actual goals, showing how it aligns with them getting their dream home. And number 3, reassure. You have to address their fears head on. Reassure them that this agreement is a standard practice designed to benefit them. This is ensuring that they receive the best possible representation. Make sure that they know your commitment to their success. You are making it clear that y'all are on this journey together. And alongside this, you remember when we talked about how Buyers get all weird when we start talking about financing. They act like they're going to speak with your lender and then they really don't. Well, there's even a way to make this completely seamless. Imagine when you're at an appointment and they say, "Yes, we're ready to get started." You run that stuff and you get them pre-approved right on the spot while they're still at the meeting. Think about what that would do. There's been so many times when you put a buyer in touch with the lender, you swap everybody's information, and then they go silent. The absolute best way to ensure that this does not happen is by bringing everything in-house and becoming the lender. You're probably wondering, how is this possible, right? Well, it's possible because back in December of 2022, FHA announced that now realtors can be lenders and get paid on the same deal. And if you're wondering how you can actually do this with no classes or no state exam required, check out the video I linked up in the card. Before we go on, hold up for a second. Reflect on your journey in this real estate world so far. Where you stand today, how close is it to where you really want to be? What I've given so far in this video, they're not just steps, they are leaps to what separates top producers from just average agents. But here's the real talk: knowing what to do and actually doing it are two entirely different things. As a real estate agent, it's so damn easy to feel lost, second guessing if your strategies are on point or if you're even ready to take your game to the next level. What if you had a navigator, a hustler, someone who's been through the ringer and came out leading the pack? My crew and I, we're not just advisors, we're your battle strategists, your allies, ready to tailor the battle print to your unique quest, ensuring that when things get tough, we're at your defense. If that spark inside of you isn't just flickering, but it's blazing to go down that path, it's blazing to morph your real estate career from where it is now to where it could truly be, that space of its peak potential, then we need to talk. Let's connect. Let's just start the conversation. Together, we can map out a strategy, fine-tune your approach, and catapult you down a highway of not just to success, but to real, lasting influence on your life and your career. Keep in mind, in real estate, as in life, it's the boldest moves, the ones that push you to the edge, that really redefine your limits. And with the right guide by your side, the sky is not the limit. That's just the view. This is your moment. Don't let it just slip through your fingers. Tap the link below and book a one-on-one call. Let's not just make moves in real estate. Let's make history. Talk soon.